All right, today we're going to look in a mirror, but not the kind that shows you reflection. We're talking about the mirror of infinite scrolling. You know exactly what I'm talking about. We're going to break down how this one little habit, this digital tick, actually shapes how we see our own lives.
So let me ask you something. You ever pick up your phone thinking, okay, just a 2 minute break, and you blink, and suddenly 30 minutes are just gone? Yeah, we've all been there. It's like a time warp. But what's really going on in those lost minutes? What's happening to us?
Well, it all starts with something we can call the infinite scroll trap. This is kind of ground zero. It's that first step where what we mean to do and what actually happens start to drift apart. Think about it. When you start scrolling, it feels like no big deal, right? It's just some harmless entertainment, a way to kick back, maybe watch a funny cat video, see what your friends are up to. But then, something changes. It's slow, it's subtle, but without you even realizing it, that harmless habit starts to have a real pull on how you feel. And this leads to a really big question, probably the most important one when it comes to social media. Are we actually getting motivated by what we see, or are we just comparing ourselves? Is it inspiration, or is it something else? So here's the two sides of it, right? On one hand, what we think we're doing, or what we tell ourselves, is that we're staying inspired, we're staying connected. But what it often turns into, if we're being honest, is just this constant running comparison. We're comparing our lives, our progress, our happiness to everyone else's perfectly polished highlight reel. And this quote just hits the nail on the head. What looks like motivation is often just comparison in disguise. Seriously, let that sink in for a second. That little voice in your head saying you're not doing enough, that you should be doing more, maybe that's not motivation at all. Maybe it's just comparison, wearing a really convincing costume. Okay, so how can you tell? How do you know if you've kind of crossed over from harmless habit to something else? Well, there are some really clear signs, red flags even, that you might be getting a little disconnected from your own life. See if any of these sound familiar. Just checking your phone on autopilot without even thinking about why. Or you're exhausted, you're dead tired, but you're still scrolling. And this one's the big one. You feel completely drained by it, but for some reason, you just can't seem to stop. These aren't just quirks, they're symptoms. Okay, so that's the trap. But listen, it is not all doom and gloom here. Far from it. Because there is a solution, and it's all about becoming more conscious and taking back control. And the solution isn't some extreme all or nothing thing. It's not about deleting every app and moving to a cabin in the woods. I mean, unless that's your thing. The real power move is just to become more conscious about it. It's about shifting from being a passive consumer to an active, engaged user. It's about you getting back in the driver's seat. So how do you do that? It's actually a pretty straightforward three-step process. First up, just pause. Before your thumb even hits that app icon, take 1 second and ask yourself, why am I doing this right now? Step 2, set some limits. You can actually use the tools on your phone to do this. Be intentional with your time. And finally, step 3, create space. Purposefully make time for real life, for those moments that don't need a filter or a caption. All right, so after all this, understanding the trap, seeing the solution, it all really boils down to one final, really powerful question. It's all about who's really in charge. And check out this quote because it just completely reframes the whole thing. The truth is, it's not that you're not doing enough, you're just consuming too much of everyone else's life. Wow. So that feeling that you're somehow behind, it's not about you failing. It's a symptom of consuming too much. You're not falling short. You're just flooded with everyone else's stories, and it's making it hard to focus on your own. So that leaves us with one final question, and it's for you. Who's in control of your scroll? Because at the end of the day, it really is a choice. You can consciously take control of these tools, or you can let them unconsciously control you. The power to make that choice, that has always been yours.